While walking through the school hallway, Jinyong suddenly hears someone call his name. Keeping his expression completely blank, he answers the girl while staying loyal to the mindset he has followed for years. His thoughts drift back to elementary school, where he had already been rejected nearly 20 times. Standing alone on the playground back then, he kept questioning why girls always turned him down. After so many painful rejections, his confidence was completely destroyed, and he no longer knew how to handle those feelings. Eventually, Jinyong shut himself away in his room and created an imaginary companion to guide him. That voice called itself Jason, and over time it became the mentor he relied on more than anyone else. One day, Jason came up with an unusual solution: treat every girl in the world like nothing more than a rock. Jinyong repeated this belief endlessly for years. By the time he reached his teenage years, the idea had fully taken over. In his eyes, every girl literally looked like a giant rock wearing a skirt. Back in the present, Jinyong quietly listens as the girl continues speaking in class. Using a soft and friendly tone, the rock girl invites him to study together after school. But remembering his personal rule, never assume a girl likes him just because she smiles, he keeps his emotions under control. Not wanting to risk another heartbreak, he calmly tells her he is busy and turns her down. Inside the imaginary mental gym in his mind, Jason praises him for making the right choice. As Jinyong walks down the hallway, he realizes that interacting with girls has become incredibly simple now that emotions no longer interfere. To him, talking to these rocks feels completely effortless. When he asks Jason if he handled the situation well, the imaginary mentor immediately agrees, calling the strategy perfect. At that moment, while Jason continues talking about how acceptance is what truly matters, a girl nearby bends down and picks up a phone from the ground. Catching Jinyong's attention instantly, she approaches him and politely asks if the phone belongs to him. Hearing her gentle voice, Jinyong suddenly freezes as though he has just seen something impossible. His thoughts completely short-circuit as he stares at her face in shock. Panic rises inside him because for some reason this girl does not look like a rock at all. Realizing how serious the situation is, he internally freaks out after seeing a normal girl's face for the first time in years. Desperately trying not to embarrass himself, he searches for any way to stay calm. Confused by his strange silence, the brunette asks why he is not answering her. Sweating nervously and stumbling over his words, Jinyong tries to excuse his sudden breakdown, convincing himself he's simply out of practice. But before he can stop himself, he blurts out that she is unbelievably pretty. The unexpected compliment leaves the girl completely stunned. After an awkward pause, she quietly thanks him while trying to process the bizarre interaction. Meanwhile, Jinyong is already preparing his escape. Apologizing in a rush, he suddenly bolts down the sidewalk without looking back. Watching the strange boy disappear, the girl glances at the name on his uniform and wonders what just happened. Meanwhile, sprinting away in embarrassment, Jinyong curses himself for saying something so ridiculous. Horrified that he called a complete stranger beautiful to her face, he imagines rumors spreading across the entire school. Back inside his mind, Jason appears once again and admits that, honestly, the move was actually pretty smooth.
Lying on his bedroom floor, Jinyong hears Jason telling him not to beat himself up so much. Trying to solve the mystery in his head, Jinyong wonders why Sunwoo was the only girl capable of bypassing his rock filter. Even Jason has no clue, asking what the next move should be. Thinking about the risks, Jinyong realizes that if he ignores everything, rumors will spread like wildfire. Bad memories from elementary school come flooding back, especially the time a girl called his crush on her disgusting. Remembering that humiliation, his imaginary gym bro mourns the complete failure of all their intense mental training. Feeling like his life is over, Jinyong collapses dramatically onto the floor. But the moment Sunwoo's beautiful face appears in his mind, Jason immediately punches the image away. His brain practically short-circuits from stress as he desperately tries to create a backup plan. Jason suggests the classic strategy of cowardice: avoid her completely. Since Sunwoo was in another class, Jinyong convinces himself the odds of seeing her are low. So the next morning, he walks to school believing the problem has already solved itself. Then Sunwoo appears right in front of him the moment he enters the hallway. With a teasing grin, she asks if he remembers her. Jinyong freezes on the spot, feeling his entire world collapse. Fighting tears internally, he begs Jason for help and gets told to act natural. Meanwhile, nearby students begin whispering. Panicking, Jinyong decides to treat Sunwoo exactly like he treats Wa. Unfortunately, Sunwoo clearly remembers him calling her pretty the day before. Then, with pure confidence, she asks him directly if he still thinks she's pretty today. Jinyong turns ghostly pale. Without hesitation, he activates emergency escape mode and sprints away again, leaving her talking to herself. Jason praises the tactical retreat. As Jinyong rushes down the hallway, he becomes convinced Sunwoo's laughter was mocking him. Refusing to let himself hope for anything else, he swears he'll never cross paths with her again. Naturally, fate immediately ruins that promise. Standing in the crowded courtyard, Sunwoo shines so brightly that every other girl around her looks like a gray concrete block in Jinyong's eyes. The moment she notices him, she waves happily. Jinyong snaps his head away at light speed. For the next several days, he dodges her like a ninja. He slides along walls, changes routes, and avoids eye contact at all costs. Sunwoo, meanwhile, becomes increasingly irritated by his constant disappearing acts. After surviving another day without getting caught by her, Jinyong heads home feeling exhausted. Just as he starts reflecting on how his life became this chaotic, Sunwoo suddenly appears behind him with a loud scream. Jinyong nearly jumps out of his skin while she laughs uncontrollably.
Completely panicked, he wonders why the universe keeps forcing them together. Sunwoo gets straight to the point, asking if he plans on running away again. Clearly annoyed, she lists all his crimes, ghosting her, fleeing hallways, and acting weird around her. Then, with a slightly hurt expression, she asks if he has some kind of problem with her. Jinyong's brain immediately crashes. Desperately searching for an excuse, he stumbles over his words until, in a moment of pure insanity, he blurts out the truth. All girls look like rocks to me, except you. Jason instantly realizes the catastrophic mistake. Meanwhile, Sunwoo breaks into a huge smile after processing the accidental pickup line. Curious now, she finally asks for his name. Leaning close, she softly repeats, Jinyong, before whispering into his ear that what he said sounded exactly like flirting. Jinyong completely shuts down. The sacred rule of treating women like rocks is shattered. His chest tightens as every layer of emotional armor Jason built gets annihilated by Sunwoo's existence.